What's shaking? My name's Cam, welcome back to another video. So if you've already read the title for today's video, the idea is that I'm going to be judging your tattoos, but before I get into it, I just want to make it clear that I'm not a tattooist. If you are, I would love to hear from you in the comments. While I'm not a tattooist or anything like that, I have been around tattoo culture pretty much my entire life. All of my dad's and my mum's friends growing up were heavily tattooed. A lot of my friends are heavily tattooed. All of the pop culture and music I listened to growing up, like heavy metal music, was heavily involved with tattoo culture. It's something that I've always had a very keen interest and I would say passion for, so tattoos excite me. So I wanted to do a video where I kind of just look at the tattoos that you guys have and give my thoughts. In case you didn't notice from all of my past videos, I have quite a few tattoos myself, not all of them book themed, but at the end of this video I will show you the book themed ones just in case you were interested in seeing a bit of a closer picture. So if you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen this tweet from me about a week ago where I asked for your book themed tattoos, and I even called out Daniel Green by name on it, the Goblin King himself, because we were on a call a little while ago just chatting about a lot of stuff, but during that call, he kind of showed me one of his tattoos and I was interested in seeing pretty much all of them. So I called him out by name, and that's why I imagine I got so many responses on this, so many more than I expected. So rather than tickling your bits too much, I'll just get straight into it. And why don't we start with the Green Goblin himself. Daniel here is his favorite, and it's the dragon. This is the one that he showed me on that call. It goes without saying that this tattoo it's beautiful. It is extremely beautiful. It's kind of got that minimalist, almost delicate look. It's a dragon, and I don't think it's a dragon from any specific book. I think he just said that his favorite fantasy creature is a dragon, which, Daniel, you basic bitch. I'm just playing. It's a lovely tattoo. It does give me a few thoughts looking at it straight off the cuff. Number one would be that I wonder if it's going to be part of a major sleeve. I wonder if he plans on making it part of a larger sleeve, because the thing with delicate tattoos like this is that they do end up looking a lot better just on their own. Although maybe as part of a patchwork sleeve, it could look really good as well. I'm not sure. I don't really know what Daniel's plan is for his future tattoos, but it is lovely. My second thought on this one would be that because it is quite a delicate tattoo, the thing you find with these is that, especially around the wing area where it gets really light, it's probably going to fade pretty quickly, which I'm sure is fine. I'm sure Daniel would get it covered up if it did. You know, you would just want to make sure that you get someone who can do as good a job as this person did, because it's amazing. Moving on to some of his other ones, we have the ring inscription from Lord of the Rings around his arm, which I think is super cool for obvious reasons. As far as covering up a lot of the upper arm, doing something that goes around is usually a pretty good idea, I've found. And going with something Lord of the Rings themed, instant win. The other one there, the skull, I hope Daniel doesn't hate me for saying this, but I honestly thought it was Bob the Skull at first from Dresden Files. I've since found out that it's actually from his upcoming sci-fi book. This one here, Neon Ghosts, A Witch's Sin, that's what it's from. And it looks great. Skulls is something I've always had a lot of trouble with, not on other people, more so on myself, because there's so many iconic skulls, especially in fantasy fiction, where I've wanted to get it tattooed on me, but the problem is skulls kind of have a bit of a bad rap as far as tattooing goes. It's kind of an older niche for more bikies, that kind of stuff. But with the addition of the heart and the color in particular on that skull, looks beautiful. I think it looks really, really good. I think purple was a good choice. Again, this is one of those tattoos that is probably going to end up looking pretty different, maybe 5 years down the line, but I still think it's going to look good. It's just, the color's not going to pop quite as much, unfortunately. That's the trouble with color tattoos as well. When I first started getting tattoos, I wanted to get a lot of color tattoos, but since then I've kind of moved more towards just getting black and white ones, because I didn't want the hassle of having to worry about color fading and getting it touched up. The most color I have on any of my tattoos is probably the Medusa here. And since then, probably just a couple of years ago now, I actually did have to get it touched up and get a lot of the colors redone, like the greens on the snakes, that kind of stuff. But those three tattoos there, really nice. I feel like in a couple of years time, Daniel's gonna be fully tatted up. He's gonna look like he just walked off the the set of Sons of Anarchy, and I can't wait to see it. Moving on, we have Clara. That is really, really nice. I mean, sword tattoos are an instant win for me either way. I want to get one myself at some point, I just don't know which. I feel like I would have to go with an iconic sword, and I think I'm probably going to go with Geralt's from The Witcher. I think what I love most about this, aside from the fact that it's like detailed, but it still looks kind of like nice and intricate, it's that it also has this like kind of dynamic, almost 3D effect because of the leaves or the vine going around there. It just adds a bit of depth to that tattoo, which I think always makes something look a lot better. And she also has Dracarys, which is the famous catchphrase of the murderous tyrant Daenerys Targaryen. There you go. Damn, that is a bold tattoo. You can even see just from this photo that it's like the scarring sticks out quite a bit. That tattoo is not going anywhere. My Bad Day has a 6 of Crows tattoo. That's really cool. Crows are another thing that I really, really like, and I think I'd like to get tattooed myself at one point. In this video, I'm probably going to be saying I'm going to get every tattoo that I see. I would like a crow at some point, but again, this looks really cool, especially because of the depth, the 3D depth there by just adding in the thorn vine. Love it. Boogus has a stormlight tattoo, which I was hoping I would see in this video. I was hoping I'd see a bunch of stormlight tattoos actually, because again, that's probably one of the next tattoos I want to get is some kind of stormlight tattoo. I know I only just read it. It's probably going to seem like I'm just jumping on the bandwagon, but even though I've only just finished Stormlight like last year, it very easily and very quickly has become one of my all-time favorite fantasy series. I think it's absolutely incredible, and this tattoo is really cool. It's bold, so again, it's not going to go anywhere. You won't have to worry too much about like fading, anything like that. It looks really fresh in this tattoo, in this photo. I mean, it looks good. I'm a big fan of like the symbols as well, because symbols like this always work well into like a patchwork kind of sleeve or anything like that, which is something that I'm going to have to be looking into. Let's see, tattoo from Riley. I'm not paying Elon 8th. All right, that's a cool one. I like this a lot. There's some tattoos, especially book themed tattoos, that just feel so intrinsically like fantasy, and this is definitely one of them. Now I love that. Love the like banner with the spears sticking up. Looks mint. All right, Conrad, let's have a look at this one. I'm gonna have to zoom it in a bit.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
Just print! Enhance. Here we go. We have the Reaper, which is an instant win for me. Bit of a weird note. If you've noticed from like the book cover of my upcoming fantasy book releases, February 16th, Blood for Coins, you might have picked up that the scythe is one of my favorite underrated weapons, especially in fantasy. I understand why, because it's such an impractical weapon. But for that reason, the Grim Reaper's always been like a favorite of mine, and something that maybe I'd want to get tattooed on myself. Again, it's kind of like the skull thing, where like it just has a certain reputation, where it used to at least belong to a niche. Again, kind of like bikers, where people might think that because you've got the Grim Reaper on you, you think you're really, hard and tough and whatever else. I don't like stereotyping when it comes to tattoos, but that's a mindset that is out there. So it's something I think about. I don't think that's going to be so much of a problem when you've got the Grim Reaper like holding some cute little kitty cats. But I do love it. It looks really, really cool. I like I'm a huge fan of like having a figure or a shape of some kind with a banner at the bottom. I think it just makes it kind of a nice triangular shape that just always looks really good with tattoos. Next up, we have the Filmarillion, which is that's an awesome name. I don't know why that cracked me up so much. That's great. Oh my god, hang on. Wait. Oh my, that is... Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm kind of gobsmacked. That is, the detail in that is incredible. That looks amazing. This is one of those tattoos where I don't think I could get something this like intricate and beautiful, because I wouldn't want to put anything around it to draw attention away from it. And obviously I want to have like sleeves and all that kind of stuff. So just honestly, these might be my favorite tattoos so far out of all the ones I've seen. You know what I think it is about this tattoo in particular that really makes it look like just next level is, I think the tattooist, who is obviously extremely talented, you can see that they've added in white ink rather than just leaving it skin colored there. and there's spots of white ink, especially in like around here, around the sword, and in the writing for the ring, and the little dips of light on the hilt here. The bits of white ink are what makes it really pop. I think that's what makes the lighting on this look just so amazing. Whatever comes, face it on your feet. I know that's a Robert Jordan quote. That's cool. That's like a flamingo there, and I can see a little skeleton there off to the side there. It looks like he might be working towards a patchwork sleeve. Am I right, Jake? That looks really cool. If it was me personally, I'd get a bit of shading done in the flamingo there, just so it blends in with the dark colors a bit more, but that might not be your taste, which is completely fine. The only thing with tattoos like this, where it's just line work essentially, is that, and again, if that's your taste, that is completely fine. It's just that at some point in your life, you're going to get someone pointed and say, when are you getting that finished? I can tell you that because it's happened to me, and it might get really annoying. People see line work tattoos and they just assume that it's not finished, unfortunately. Marlon has another stormlight tattoo. Ooh, I like that. Hang on. Tef's third oath. And am I right in saying that so his third oath was done in like waveform as well? That's sick, dude. That's awesome. Wow, I actually love that. And you know what else I love about this tattoo is that it is pretty much a black and white tattoo, but you have that small pop of color. I do really, really like it when there's like black and white tattoos, but they have a small pop of color. Like sometimes it might be, let's say Sauron, for example, and then they'll just give him like glowing red eyes just to give it a tiny little like color pop. I love that. Speak of the devil, we have another one with the wavelengths. I haven't seen many of these. Maybe I'm just more in the dark than I thought. This one looks really good as well. We've got like the sigil tattoos always look really sick, especially when you're getting like a book themed tattoo. Also got like the shading, the clouding around there, which gives it a bit of extra color, which would work really well if you're looking to get like a full sleeve. I don't know if you are. Also because I don't know how a full sleeve would go around the like wavelengths there, but you could easily make it work. A good tattooist could make that work if that's something you're wanting to do. I'm thinking as far as a Stormlight Archive tattoo goes for me, I was thinking I'll probably get the Bridge 4 glyph as well. I'll probably get it in black and white. Not really sure exactly where though. And another, okay, all right. Obviously I missed the boat on getting the on getting like the voice wavelength tattoos, because I think before today I've only seen it like once or twice, and now I've got 3 in a row. And I literally just said that I would probably get like a Bridge 4 glyph and like black and white, and here we go. Bridge 4 logo with the first ideal. I love that. That's so great. Stormlight makes for such good tattoos. These are both on the shoulder as well, aren't they? That's a good spot for like a sigil tattoo, actually. Hannah Jo has this one of a literal book, and hey, it looks fantastic. Looks great. This is another one of those delicate tattoos, so just be prepared. You know, I'm sure you already are. Again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm a tattoo expert telling you how to get your tattoos, but you know, be prepared to have to get it touched up at some point in the future. And, you know, the trouble is making sure you get someone who can do as good a job. But yeah, I really, really like that. I like the dimension there of having like a delicate looking book in front of bolder looking flowers. Again, it just kind of adds that depth and that bit of like 3D to it that I think looks really cool. It's beautiful. It's probably the prettiest tattoo I've seen so far on this. Oh, here we have a nice fresh Wheel of Time tattoo. I like that. I like that a lot. I guess my only note would be, and this is again just my personal preference, I probably would have liked it if I was to get it on myself without the like misting around it. I just feel like maybe like potentially the misting kind of draws a little bit away from you know, just the design itself, but then again it does add like kind of nice shape to it as well. It's a good spot for it too, like especially with the misting there, you can see it kind of contours around like the elbow area, which looks really cool. And last but not least, it's an author, not a book, but close enough. I cannot for the life of me figure out who this is. I feel like someone's going to point it out in the comments and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, actually, you know what my first thought was seeing this? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Kyle. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but my first thought seeing this was that it kind of I'm sorry. It kind of looks like Phyllis from The Office. I'm sorry. It is cool. I really like that you got a tattoo dedicated to an author rather than a book. That's not something you see very often, which when you think about it is actually a really, really good idea, because as readers, I'm sure you guys can agree that a lot of the time we're as inspired or more inspired by the authors than the characters that they create. So I think that's a really good dedication. I mean, it's quite literally as good a dedication as you could possibly give to one of your favorite authors, is getting them on your skin forever. I think that is it. I think that, yeah, some really, really, really good tattoos in here, guys, especially these. Oof, love to see it. I would love to do another one of these, like, judging your book-themed tattoos videos in the future if you guys would like. I imagine at least some of you that replied to this tweet will be getting more book-themed tattoos in the future, so it'll be cool to get an update from you. It would also be cool to see the tattoos from a lot of new people as well. Before we end the video, I'll give you a little quick flash slideshow of my book themed tattoos just so I can show them off. So this one here is my favorite. It's on my hand and I'm sure you can figure out what it is. It's the door to bag end. This one here is another one of my favorites. It's Constantine, who actually happens to be one of my all-time favorite book characters, comic book in this case. Constantine exorcising a demon to hell. This one is Three Musketeers, which is probably, yeah, I would say my favorite classic. This one I'm really happy with how it ended up turning out with the detail and that kind of stuff. It is, you know, the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland in his pocket watch. This one is Sherlock Holmes. And I'll throw this one in there as well. It's on my other hand, it's just a quill. Just basically a little nod to the fact that I'm a writer, although ironically it's on my left hand and my writing hand is my right hand, but I'd already gotten the Hobbit tattoo on that one, so it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. I do have a lot of other tattoos on my body, but those ones aren't explicitly book themed. Hopefully part 1 of me judging your book themed tattoos. I would love to do a part 2. Follow me over on Twitter if you aren't already, so you can see when I do prompts like this for you to be included in one of my videos. Thanks for watching, especially for watching through the whole video. You are my favorite. I make lots of fantasy book themed videos, so if that's your kind of thing, then I would love it if you stuck around. Otherwise, have a good day, happy tattooing, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch ya.